On the morning of July 30th, 2015, tragedy struck an entire family when a 1-year-old boy and a 2-year-old girl drowned in a backyard pool. Martha says she woke up at 11 a.m. and found her daughter and grandson unresponsive. During the aftermath of this tragedy, Martha has been accused of neglecting the children by doing drugs and partying the night before, as well as beating the children to death before placing them in the pool. The details of this story are horrific and shocking. And now, Martha's ex and her daughter want answers. Well, I guess I'm bringing out Sean. How's your relationship with him?
I want him to take responsibility. Why do you abandon us?
I took responsibility for my actions. That's why I left
you left
to get away from you. Because
us
look at
from
you.
the beginning.
You can't even function.
No.
You don't ever take responsibility for anything you do.
Why didn't you fix the house so the kids would be safe?
It was my job to fix the house when I wasn't even there.
You're the dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're out getting high.
I was out getting high, you know what? But I wasn't getting high when my babies were drowning in the pool.
No. I was not too either. I was sleeping.
I was at work when the babies were floating in the pool.
Crack.
Yeah, call it what you want.
Yeah.
I might have been hitting a pipe the whole day, but you know what? It wasn't my watch, it was yours. And you couldn't keep me together for day.
I was sleeping.
They're dead because of you.
Martha, you came and Dan gave you that assessment test to deem whether you were being truthful or untruthful. And he asked you, did you ever strike either Shayna and Ashton up to 1 week before they drowned in the pool? She answered no, and that result was deemed truthful. Did you put or throw either of those children in the pool the day they drowned? You answered no. That result was deemed credible. Did you drink alcohol the night before the children drowned? You answered no. The result was deemed truthful. Did you participate in any illegal substance the night before the children drowned? You answered no. The result was deemed untruthful. Were the bathroom and bedroom doors secured the way you described? You answered yes, and the result is deemed untruthful.
Well, that's not right, because the cops went over and over and over again with the scenario.
You are a liar, you are a drug addict, and you caused the death of your daughter and your grandson.
I'm done.
And with that, you can be done. She can walk off my stage, and she can go lead the life that she's been living. So, I mean, it comes down to Denasia, that you really have no idea how this happened to your son.
No, I don't.
Okay.
If I did, I wouldn't even be here right now.
No, a lot of people say that. Ricky, now Denasia is facing charges. This is an ongoing case. If she fails for abusing or allowing abuse to your son, what will you do?
She won't get no contact. She won't get no video chat. She won't see him. It'll be all me, full custody. I'm not having it.
All right, Denasia, you came here and took a lie detector test, and your lie detector test is broken up into two categories, one for your son and then one with your other children. The first one we're going to read is about the youngest son, the one that has all these injuries. And we asked you, do you know for sure who caused any of those injuries to your youngest son? You answered no. The results for that question is extreme deception indicated. Did you cause any of those injuries to your younger son? You answered no. Extreme deception indicated. Did you ever witness Clinton causing any of those injuries to your youngest son? You answered no, and you did not tell the truth.
What does this extreme deception mean?
That you're lying.
Okay, so we're gonna have to do another one. Because there's no way in
You're
hell.
gonna tell me you really didn't know what extreme deception
I'm
meant?
gonna tell you that I kind of figured that if I came out here, that was gonna happen. I trusted your lie
Why?
detector test.
Why did you know that was gonna happen?
If anything would have happened, then I wouldn't, bro.
Why do you think we want to portray you in a bad light?
It is a show.
You can say, yeah, this is a TV show, but this TV show has my name on it, my reputation, okay? And in every walk of life I've ever had, whether it was being a Marine or being a police officer or being a talk show host, nobody's ever said that I perjured myself or I lied or I fabricated a story. Never. And I would never have these results portrayed a certain way. We just read them. We don't make the results. You make the
I
results.
will most definitely be going somewhere else.
This all started 2 weeks ago when Trevor's ex, Madison, and her daughter stayed the night with Trevor and Tiffany. And just 2 days later, Trevor was being accused of molesting his 2-year-old daughter.
I think that Madison's mother or the family is coaching my daughter to say that, or something truly happened to my daughter, and if it did happen, I need to figure it out ASAP.
The night that you go over there to spend the night, everybody's cool.
Yeah, we're cool. We're watching movies. Like I said, I got food for everybody. I bought them cigarettes.
Before this incident comes about, Trevor, how do you rate him as a father when he's interacting with his daughter? Is he loving? Is he caring? Is he a good dad?
I mean, he's a good dad when he's present, like when he's like with her, like. But just in general, I don't suggest him to be a good
He's
dad.
not
Like,
supportive enough for you.
No, like, all right, go get mommy the pull-ups and wipes. And she goes and gets me the pull-ups and wipes. And before I can't even touch her or lay her down to check her out, she's like, fingers, and her fingers are right here. And I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, and she won't spit it out. She's like, fingers, I'm hurt, fingers. I'm like, what's wrong? And I asked her about 3 times what's wrong. And then finally I'm like, who did it? I lay her down on the bed. I'm looking at her. I'm like, who did it? She's like, Daddy's mean. He touched my body. I had to take her to her doctor the next day.
And what did
the
the doctor
doctor
say?
looked at her and said that he didn't see no bruising or anything. But if she's saying it, it has to be happening.
What if Trevor fails today?
Steve, it's gonna be bad. He's going to jail. I'm pushing it. This is why I'm here. Like I said before, CPS, I haven't had a phone call. I haven't talked to not a CPS worker, nobody, and it's 2 weeks later. This is a serious situation. My kid is being sexually touched by somebody.
Okay.
Bro, I would never do
Bro,
that.
my kid means everything. Don't come get
Nah,
him.
bro, I would never let my
I don't
daughter, you
care.
know
I'm
that,
gonna
bro.
go. No, I don't know that, bro.
You know I
I
never
don't
touched
know
her.
that. My kid means everything
She
to me,
means the
Trevor.
world to
My
that.
kid loves her daddy, and now she's scared of
Why
you,
would
bro.
you say that?
Now she's scared of you. I'm here for answers my damn self.
Would it be fair to say that you're really not living up to your responsibilities?
No.
Yeah, I'm not living up to my responsibility.
And why don't you?
I've been stressed. I grew up without a father.
This is his
It's
excuse
not
all
even-
the time. I'm
it's not really an
depressed.
excuse.
I'm stressed. What you depressed about?
I just need-
Your excuse was I'm depressed because I don't have my kids in my life. You choose not to have
You
your
don't
kids
let me
in
have
your
my daughter. You
Because
take her
it-
to her house, to Easter.
Yeah.
And your mom was like, no, you're
your
taking my baby
family has
nowhere.
literally seen my kid a handful of times since she's
Because
been born.
y'all won't let them.
She doesn't know them.
She
She
don't know
doesn't know
because you don't give me a
them.
chance
She
to let them know
doesn't
them.
know them.
So the one night that she needs to come over, it sounds like the only reason why you let her come over because she's got something to offer. She's got some fast food and some cigarettes, and then you let her come over.
No,
Because at first you said no, Trevor. Don't sit here and
I
say
said no
that.
because of Tiffany
No,
told
but
me
then
no.
and I was like, tell Tiffany to call me.
She doesn't feel
But when I
comfortable
offered,
with-
shut the hell up for a second because I'm talking.
She does not
And
feel
I'm just
comfortable
gonna-
with
Like,
me
this
being
is-
around my ex.
When they spend the night, were you ever alone with your daughter?
I was never alone with her.
You're never
but
alone.
she told me to go take her to the bathroom. I told her no.
Yeah, you're the-
I don't
you're
like
the
taking her to the
dad.
bathroom. I don't like smelling poop. I
Then
don't
you
like
should have been like,
changing
I'm not
things. But I did.
comfortable.
I took her to the bathroom.
I'm not
Sat her on the
comfortable.
toilet, sat on the top of the steps.
Why-
When she got
so
done,
do
I
you
took her right
think-
downstairs.
do
Then you should have said, I'm not comfortable.
Do you
I
think
had to
Madison and her mother are making this up?
I feel like her mother's is coaching her to say it, or something really happened to her and something did. I need to find out ASAP.
Has this affected your relationship with Tiffany at all?
It has affected a little bit because
Probably.
it made her
This is
ask
probably why
questions.
He's probably on here because
It
of
made her
Tiffany.
ask questions to her kids, but her kids.
Because she
told her
has
no.
kids.
Yeah, her kids.
And now that you're accused of doing this to your own kid, she was
but she
worried.
supported me though through it all.
She's supporting a child molester.
Do you have a baby with
Yes, I do.
Tiffany?
Yes.
Why do you keep having kids if you can't support any of them? Really be a man and stop getting these young girls pregnant when you got nothing to offer.
I literally bust my ass off.
How the hell you gonna sit here and accuse him of these things so mad?
You're a parent, right? You're a parent, right? You're a parent, right? So you're gonna believe that he's over anybody.
You don't believe he's done this?
I don't. I've been with him for 2.5 years. He's never gave me any reason to believe that he would ever touch a child or do anything to hurt a child.
What if he were to fail his lie detector test?
Then he's gonna have to deal with those consequences.
Would you stay with them?
No, I wouldn't. I would protect my babies and move on with my life.
Say what you
Any
want to say.
parent would believe their kid over anybody, Tiffany. When you came out on this stage, you look just as sick as him. You look just as bad. You're a parent.
I am a parent.
You're a
That's
parent.
why I
So
know
you're
what
gonna believe your
you're
kid, right?
saying, what
So
you're
you're gonna
saying.
believe your kid, right?
Yes, I would. No
Okay,
matter what, I would
stop.
believe
That's
my
all I want to
kid.
hear. I don't want to
I
hear
would.
nothing.
Did you fabricate the story that your daughter said that Trevor touched her inappropriately? You answered no. Do you have knowledge of your mother fabricating the story that your daughter told her that Trevor touched her inappropriately? You answered no. The results of those questions came back the same, and they came back that Madison told the truth.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Trevor, you came here and you took a lie detector test. And we asked you, did you ever touch your daughter for your own sexual gratification? You answered no. And the results for your lie detector test is that you did not tell the truth.
Don't even touch me!
We don't need to retest. We've tested you 3 times.
I have never touched
And
my
you
daughter.
failed. Okay. So I'm curious to
It's
you.
not true, and you know that.
So what we have is a story of a little girl telling her mother and her grandmother that
No,
her
it's
father
not.
touched her.
No, it's not true.
Okay.
He's never even been alone with
Never
her.
been alone.
Okay.
I've never touched my daughter.
So knowing this, what are you going to do?
I have no choice. What am I supposed to do? I got my kid. I have babies to worry about too.
The good thing about you appearing on the show is we've had a lot of success when people come on the show that we get people prosecuted for the crimes they commit, okay? So what I'm
Never touched my daughter.
So, I'd advise you, when you get home, that you need to tell the authorities that your parents on the show on how he failed this test 3 times, okay?
You did this to have a free trip.
No, I would never touch my daughter. You think I'll come here if I touch my daughter?
Yeah, I think you would.
I think
No,
you would
and you
too.
failed.
No,
'Cause you're a
I would
free
take another
bastard.
test. I was at the courthouse. I would take another test. I'm taking another test as soon as I get home.
You're not a guy that I would want in anybody's lives that I know or care about. I certainly wouldn't want my young daughter dating you because you contribute nothing
I would never
except
touch my daughter,
bringing
Steve.
kids into the world
all for
that you
entertainment.
can't support.
I would
And
never
you know
touch my
what?
daughter. I would
Not
never touch my
only-
daughter.
Not only you do not support them, that you have these kids. You're a piece of and I hope you rot now. You're living with this guy. And I do believe these results. I believe he's a child molester. But I don't know if you're real serious about when you get home throwing him out.
I have to. I can't lose my babies.
Not lose them.
I can't, yes, because
You don't
they
want
would
them
be taken.
damaged.
I know. I don't want nothing to happen to them. I don't want them taken away. I can't lose my kids. That's my world. That's all I got.
Then leave him alone. Like you should have. Like you should have.
Please don't be the typical thing we get where you're crying here and when you walk off the stage, you're back in bed with them tonight. I hope that. And I hope I hear from you that we want to update the story. I want to hear that this guy's been arrested, that he's been charged, and that this guy, you know, serves some time for what he did to your children. I wish you both the luck. Please let us know what happens.
I'm being accused of my daughter's death. It's time for me to vindicate myself. 25 years I've been walking around and people think that I'm some kind of child killer. When my daughter was 2 years old, I spanked my daughter with a small belt on her buttocks and her legs. And after I spanked her, she was running around with my other kids. Man, I go to work. I come back later on, my little girl was gone. They trying to say that my daughter was beat to death. I did 2 years in the county fighting my case. After the 2 years, they found me guilty of involuntary manslaughter. I went to prison for like 6 months. I was also accused of molesting and raping my daughter, Kamora. I want to be vindicated with all this stuff that's been said about me.
I was abused in a foster home. I would wake up sometimes and it was, men humping me. A month later, I was back in the hospital. That's when they found out I had gonorrhea.
As a 6-year-old.
As a 6-year-old. So they pinned that on my father.
Maybe she didn't die from that one last whipping before your dad went to work, but couldn't it be possible that the whippings that occurred in that 4 times in the last week caused some kind of internal injury, some bleeding inside her? Because I got to imagine from the coroner report, it didn't come back that your sister died of
because it was
suffocation.
unknown. They didn't know. They don't know what killed my sister.
You know he did this.
Why he did not tell my father? How can you say that about my father? He didn't kill him. He didn't kill him. No, hold on, brother. You better stand back, okay?
Now, you were backstage listening to your sister, and she says, no, it wasn't Dad. When she got put into foster homes, that other men in these foster homes.
I had it bad, too, as well. I got raped, too, by my foster people, you know what I mean?
It's got to be very hurtful. You believing that your dad killed your sister.
I really believe it.
Raping your sister. All the things that you had to go through because of your dad's actions.
Come on,
you believe
Dad.
everything somebody tell you, man?
Every time I try to ask you,
never hurt my child, never hurt you or none of my kids. I spanked her. I'm old school,
man. You killed her. You killed her.
How you
Come
feel
on
I
now.
killed her?
Did you beat your daughter, Kawanda, to death in 1988? You answer no. Any time up to the week before her death, did you strike Kawanda with excessive force on her head or body? Nope. And you answer no. You did not tell the truth.
What? Hell no! What? Hell no! What? I couldn't get no ladies after this. Hell no! I'm leaving that right now.
Am I lying? Am I lying?
I was right there.
Yes, I know.
I was right there. I was right there. No, I was right there. No, I was right there.
I'm not going to judge you now. You did your time for a crime.
Hey, but
I'm certain you have some memories of what happened 25 years ago in that
but I
little
ain't got
apartment.
no memories hurting my
And
baby like that.
whatever those memories are,
I think you owe me a apology.
you have to
I
live
don't
with
care
them.
after nothing.
You have to
You
live
owe me
with
an
that.
apology.
Hey,
And you-
But your son and daughter are here, and they wanted the truth, and it's not
I can't understand
the result they
how
wanted.
come I did not tell the truth by spanking her. Man,
Anthony seems to.
man. You ruined my life, Dad.
Have you ever raped or had sexual intercourse with your daughter, Kamora? And he answered no. Your father told the truth. Knowing that he went to jail for that crime, knowing that he paid with time for that crime, could you, knowing now what you know, have a relationship with your father?
No.
No.
He didn't not kill her.
The only reason why.
He suffocated.
If I ever have a baby, I can't bring my baby.
suffocated.
I can't bring my baby because look at what the adults say. I mean, if he did this to my sister, what he did do it to the kid?
This story is a good story to do, so everybody out there who thinks of doing something stupid or crazy, they don't do it so they don't put their children through what your children went through. Lionel called the show because his world has been turned upside down. He says that he was falsely accused of molestation. Due to this, he was arrested, lost his job, lost his apartment, he gets accosted on the street, and when he goes to church, everyone gives him dirty looks. But his girlfriend, Wilda, believes he is innocent and wants his name cleared today. Take a look.
I'm here to support my boyfriend. He's, like the love of my life. I'm tired of my boyfriend being accused of something, a molestation with minors when it's not. I'm just tired of his family member accusing him of something that he has nothing to do with. One of my family members said that I shouldn't date him because of his background. I asked him, I'm like, babe, I heard that you being accused of something. And he's like he didn't really go into details. He just told me bits and pieces, like, oh, I'm being wrongly accused. I don't know too much about it. It's just bits and pieces of it. It's not right that one of his family members accusing him of something so serious.
What happened?
A couple years ago, I was living with a relative. I had a good job, was working, and I was paying rent. She decided to raise the rent on me, so I moved out to get my own place. A week later, I get a phone call while I'm at work. I get to the main office. I get there, next day, I'm fired. No explanation, none of what's going on. Nothing at all. Just confused. Later, a week later after that, I get a knock I'm at my apartment, get a knock at the door. Police show up at my door, they arrest me. Not saying what for. I go downtown to the courthouse, go in front of the judge. He asked me, do you know why I'm here? I said, I don't know why I'm here at all. He looks at me, okay, the paper is discombobulated. He lets me go, I'm released on my own incontinence. I go back home. 6 months later, I get a letter in the mail explaining everything. I get a letter reading child abuse, molestation, malnutrition, this stuff I would never do. I love kids. That's not me, Steve. I'll never do nothing like that.
So you get this letter and it says charges are dropped, or what? What happened?
Charges have been dropped. Nothing was unfound.
Okay.
And after I got the letter, I'm reading it. I kind of put two and two together, figure out where it came from. A year later, I go to church. I see my family member there, and I confront her about the letter. She looks at me like I'm stupid. While we at church, I get called to the front. Congregation member of the church picks us up in front of the congregation. She talks to us. She makes us hug it out and makes us apologize. I apologize. I know what I apologize.
And this is 1 year later?
It's a year later.
So what did you apologize for?
Something basically that I did not do, just to get it over with, to put it behind me, because I got tired of hearing it. And I got tired of people looking at me like I was stupid.
So let's back up. So you get fired, right?
Yes.
Did you say, hey, why am I being fired?
I asked. Nobody told me anything
and
at all.
And they wouldn't say anything?
They wouldn't say nothing at all.
So you get fired and you say, okay.
Okay, I said, it's okay. I'll just go with the flow.
It's a good job.
Good job. I was doing maintenance, working maintenance. Good
right.
job.
I mean, you got a steady paycheck. It's a good job. And you just say, okay, I'm fired.
Yeah, I just run with it.
Okay. Then the police arrest you, and they don't tell you why you're arrested.
Don't tell me nothing.
They put you in handcuffs?
Put me in handcuffs, take me down to the judge.
And they don't ask you, hey, did you do this particular crime?
They don't ask me nothing at all, Steve.
They don't say one word to you?
Not one word.
So you didn't molest those children?
No, Steve.
Do you think this whole thing originated from you deciding you were going to move out?
Yes.
So you moved out from this family member you were staying with, and because you moved out and weren't paying rent anymore, they accused you of a crime that could have put you in jail for a very long time.
Yes, that was the goal, I believe.
Why are you here, though? Like, you're taking this lie detector test, right?
Yes.
But like, this case is over. You were charged, but you didn't have to go to trial. They dropped the charges against you. You moved on with your life. You got a girlfriend. Why take a lie detector test?
Because I'm tired of hearing the nonsense. I'm tired of it keep blast on Facebook. I'm tired of everybody looking at me like I'm stupid.
Because people are looking at you like you did it.
Yes.
But wouldn't you have to come up with a better story than what you're telling me for people to believe you? Because I don't know whether you did it or not, but the story you tell is very hinky.
It's not. It's the truth. I'm telling the truth. Straight facts.
Well, let's meet your girlfriend, Wilda.
I know he didn't do this. I know he's innocent. He's not the monster that everybody keeps saying that he is.
How do you know that?
Because I believe him, and I know that.
Well, you want to believe him, right?
No, I believe him 100%, and I'm sure that he's not this monster that everybody keeps saying.
So let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say maybe he didn't do this, right? But when he tells this story, it's hard to believe. So he has a good job, he's making good money, likes his job, and they fire him, and they no explanation whatsoever. But he says he moved on. Then he gets police show up his door, they arrest him. The police don't say one word. They don't even question him. Hey, did you do this? Do you know so-and-so? They just put him in handcuffs, they take him down, they lock him up, and then they put him in front of the judge, and even the judge who says, hey, do you know why you're here? And he goes, no. The judge does not tell him why he's there. Do you ever hear anything like that in your life? No. I'm going to give you a chance just to walk off stage, go and live your life. Nope. You want to stay here and you want me to read these?
Yep, go right ahead.
Lionel came here, took a lie detector test, and we asked him, did you touch any of those 3 children for your own sexual pleasure or gratification? He answered no. We asked him, did you ever have any sexual physical contact with any of those 3 children? He answered no. The results came back the same to each of those 2 questions, and it came back that Lionel did not tell the truth.
What are you talking about?
Now anybody that had any doubt whether you did this or not, now they know you did it.
I didn't do nothing. The results are,
and maybe the police now will reopen the case and charge your ass and put your ass in jail.
I was found unfound.
But if I were you, what I would have at least done, maybe did some homework, sat down, wrote out a story that people would believe. I mean, I don't even know you. I'm not seeing any towels about like you're looking away or anything like that. No. All I have to do is listen to your story and know that you're a liar. You're dating a guy that's a liar that abuses children.
I'm not a child abuser. Sorry.
Oh, my God.
Hey, man, I knew you were guilty before I even read this.
I'm not guilty.
To me, I don't need this. Tell the story again.
I tell the story again. I don't care.
Well, you know what? You can tell it to somebody who will listen to that. You off my stage.
I'll leave your stage.
Get off.
I don't care. I'll leave your stage.
Get the hell off my stage.
I'll leave your stage like I said. No problem.
Hey, you are a mother. You know how precious our children are to us?
Yes.
Can you imagine somebody doing that to small, little, innocent kids? Tell a story that somebody can believe. That is one of the worst stories I've ever heard. Scored the worst on the lie detector test we've ever had. We've had people up here for murder, rape, everything. He is the worst liar of 1,000 guests. And you're with him. So we're playing pick a door here. Well, you go out that door, you continue on your relationship, you ignore everything you heard today. Or you run like hell and you go out that door and say, I need to find a good guy. Pick a door. I don't care. If you want to be with them, go be with them. Good for you. Kimberly and Raymond's romantic relationship didn't work out. But they've been raising their children together, and Kimberly says Raymond has been an amazing father. That is, until their daughter accused him of molesting her.
I know my daughter, and I know that she's not lying about this. Right. And I feel in my heart that she's not lying about this because when we met, I was 13 and he was 19. So,
He committed statutory rape.
Yes, he did. And I feel like it's a possibility that he's doing it with my daughter.
What do you mean you don't know what type of person I am? We were together 6
You
years.
took advantage of me when I was 13.
I didn't take advantage of you. I
was
loved
13.
you. And when I found out your age, what did I do? I broke up with you.
No, you
then
broke
everyone
up with
around
me.
was saying
You
it was
broke
cool.
up with
You
me.
were sitting
How
out in
did you
front of the
break up
place
with
crying.
me?
When I found out your age, I broke up with you. But you said
You
you
did
wanted to be
not
with me.
stop.
But hold on a second.
It was.
You're 19.
19.
I understand.
You couldn't
I understand.
understand that she looked 13.
She looked 16. Everyone she was hanging out with was 16. And I'm not saying that's
Even
even
if
then.
she was 16, that's wrong.
It's not right.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
it's wrong.
13.
Raymond came here and he took a lie detector test, and we asked him, have you ever had any physical contact with your eldest daughter for your own sexual gratification? You answered no, and you did not tell the truth.
Get the out of here! Get the out, man! No! Hell no! 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 Get out of here, man! What? No! Get out of here! I did not get it, man. What do you mean I was not telling the truth? What do you mean? Shut up, man! What do you mean I was not telling the truth? Yeah, man, you let. And now you pushing me.
What?
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Have you ever had any?
Shut up, man. Oh my God.
Have you ever had any physical contact?
Get out of here.
My God. My babies. My babies. My babies.
You unfortunately.
You robbed me. My daughter.
I didn't do it.
You robbed
I don't care about that.
And you robbed my daughter.
Hold on. This is about your youngest daughter now.
Oh my God.
We asked you, have you ever had any physical contact with your youngest daughter for your sexual gratification? You answered no, and the result for that question is you did not tell the truth.
What do you mean? Get out of here.
Okay.
Hey, for real? For real?
I ain't do nothing to the kids.
For real? For real?
Man.
You know what? You did that. You did it because you did it to me.
No, I do nothing. Man,
You
get the man, to come out of the police, arrest me, take me to jail. Let's go do lie detector tests with them, man. Let's do all this stuff. Whatever, man.
Now, you just made a challenge. Hey, police.
Everybody, come arrest
Come
me.
and
Here
get
I am,
him.
man.
And I hope.
Whatever you want to do, bro. Whatever you want to do, bro. I'm right here. I ain't do this, man. Come on, I'm right here, man. I ain't do this. Y'all got it all up, man.
Whatever town that this guy's from, that the police take up the challenge and come lock this guy up so he doesn't do it to any
you're
more
not here?
kids.
You're talking about some other
And with that,
whatever, man.
get the off my stage. Casey and her family should have been enjoying a Mother's Day barbecue last week, but instead, they were blindsided with allegations of sexual abuse. You see, Casey says her daughter claimed that Grandpa Jimmy molested her. And she even gave specifics as to where the abuse took place. But Jimmy and his wife Lisa say there's no way their granddaughter was molested, especially not by him. Take a look.
My granddaughter is accusing my husband Jimmy of touching her. Casey went home and she asked her if he had touched her in any way. She said no, and then she said that Peepaw had put his cookie on my cookie. Peepaw is my husband Jimmy. I told her, I said, no, Peepaw did not do this. So then we got Jimmy, which is Peepaw, to come into the room. And Casey had her tell Peepaw exactly what she told me. And Jimmy's like, no, that has never happened. I would never do nothing like that. So then David comes in and he's real upset. And that's whenever he told us that Jimmy has to get a lie detector test. I think Casey had probably coached my grandbaby because she had her by herself and had an opportunity to talk to her. I need to find out the truth because I told my husband if he feels it, I have to leave. I can't be with him no more. And I don't want to leave my husband.
Casey, that's your mother-in-law on the tape. What's going on?
Okay, well, like you said, on Mother's Day, we should be having a good day. Well, my daughter said, "Oh, Mommy, I have something that I need to tell you in your ear." I said, "Okay." So I put my ear down there to her, and she said, "Mommy, Peepaw wants to keep this a secret, but he put his cookie on my cookie." And I said, "What do you mean he put his cookie on your cookie? Is it a cookie that you eat, or is it your cookie? Because that's what we consider that area." And she told me, she said, "No, Mommy, it was this cookie." So I immediately took her to the source, which is Jimmy and Lisa. Okay, I wanted them to hear it for themselves that she had said this. So whenever I got there, I immediately told Lisa to go into her bedroom. It was just me, her, and my daughter. And my daughter told her the same thing she told me. And we asked her again, "Was it a cookie that you eat, or is it a cookie, your cookie?" And she said it was her cookie again. And that's when Jimmy had walked in the door and said, "What the heck is going on?" I had her repeat it again. And she said the same thing in front of everybody, as she told me. And so my husband had came down at that time and told Jimmy that he has to take a lie detector test. So as soon as they all agreed to take a lie detector test or whatever, I immediately called y'all. I have to have answers from my daughter.
How long have you known Jimmy?
I have been knowing him since I was 4 or 5 years old. His mother had passed away whenever he was younger, and so my dad took him in and offered to raise him the rest of the way. And I consider him as my brother because we're really close.
Right,
and
you were raised in the same house.
Yes. And I just would never think
And then he
that-
married your mom?
My husband's mom.
Oh, okay.
So-
But I mean, isn't that kind of odd that the guy that you're going ends up being your father-in-law?
It's okay though. He's a good man to
Yeah.
me.
So that's what. And so you just said that. Do you think it's possible that he didn't do this?
I really don't think he did. But I mean, I have to believe my daughter. I mean, my daughter would not just make something like that up, and especially saying where it happened at.
Now, you took a lie detector test to prove that you didn't coach your daughter.
I sure did.
Why'd you do that?
Because I don't want anybody saying, "Oh, well, she told her daughter to say this," even
But I
knowing-
mean, why would you coach against somebody that you have a very close relationship?
Exactly.
Casey, why?
Why? Why would you do this to my daughter?
I would never do that.
You told.
You know, I would never hurt her.
She told everybody.
She's like a love to me. It's like all my kids.
My daughter said it 3 or 4 different times, the same story.
It don't matter, Casey. I didn't never
I
do
don't
it. I
care.
raised
I
you
have
whenever
to
you was 5
believe-
years old.
I have to believe my daughter.
I would never touch anybody like that.
I don't want to believe you did it.
I raised you pretty much.
Your husband, David, he's here. Let's bring David out.
Look, all this going on, bro. My daughter comes and says it 3 times.
Yeah.
How you gonna call a 4-year-old a liar? I mean, how are you gonna do that? And besides, y'all have the wrong idea of even thinking it's her coaching our daughter. When I'm the one that's always getting in your face, calling you lazy, drunk, and everything else. How y'all even gonna
because you
think
don't
it's
want me
her?
to be with your mama.
No, I don't want a drunk, lazy person with my mama. But guess what? It happened. My mom has feelings for you, and I don't want to
I
have
can't
her
work. I
heart
got
broken
back
again.
problems. What else
But
you want me to do?
My daughter came to us
Are you a
and
drunk?
said 3
No,
times.
I drank, but I ain't no drunk.
Do you believe in your heart that he molested your daughter?
I don't. I do and I don't. It's really hard because I've known this man for a long time, and I've never seen him do anything like that around a kid or to a kid.
How in the world could you even sit back there and say that you think that he probably did it? I love this man, and I'd be damned
Did I
if I'm
say?
gonna let
Wait a
anybody
second,
come
no.
in between
Did
us.
I
Get
say?
back.
Did I
You
say
said-
that I thought he did?
Yes,
No,
David, you
No,
and
I did
Casey,
not.
So
you and-
really, it sounds like nobody really believes that Jimmy did it, but it's a possibility.
Exactly.
There is a possibility, but I am pulled in the middle, okay?
Of course.
I mean, I'm never home. I'm never home at all.
But do you find it a little strange that Jimmy's the one giving your daughter a bath?
Yeah. And I didn't even
But
know
he
that
hasn't.
happened.
But he hasn't. That's the thing.
He just stood on the stage and said he did it.
Man, I don't even bathe my own girls because I wouldn't want this to happen to me.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it a little weird that nobody knew that he was giving her a bath?
I didn't know.
I didn't.
I don't know the result. Hey, everybody says Jimmy's a great guy. Maybe he didn't do it.
I want to answer.
We pray. We just pray to God.
But the bath story almost sounds like, well, if I failed, that's when I gave her a bath. Casey took a lie detector test, and we asked her, did you coach your daughter to say Jimmy sexually molested her? She answered no. Are you fabricating the story that Jimmy sexually molested your eldest daughter? She answered no. The results came back the same to each question. They came back that Casey told the truth. Jimmy came here, took a lie detector test, and we asked him, did you ever have physical contact with your 4-year-old granddaughter for your own sexual pleasure? He answered no. Did you ever do anything sexual to your 4-year-old granddaughter? He answered no. The results came back to send each question, and they came back that Jimmy did not tell the truth. Now, to either pass this test, you have to have a +4, or you have to have a -4 to fail. Jimmy had a -24. I know there's sick guys in the world, and you're one of them. It's not going to be easy for you in jail. And let me tell you something. Don't fool yourself right now standing on that stage thinking you're not going to jail, because look at everything that happened here. One, this is a little girl who's adamant about her story. Two, the mother passes that this ain't being faked. The girl has basically pointed you out in a lineup in her own house. This is the guy that did it, okay? Little girl's not making up the story like that. And you bust out yourself. Oh yeah, I give her baths. That nobody knows that I'm giving her a bath. And you know, some of these guys, they worked in the prison system here in the state of Connecticut. I'm sure they can tell you, nobody likes a child molester.
Well, you know what?
Nobody.
Y'all know what? If y'all got anything to do with the police, take his ass now.
Okay.
Take his ass now. I don't want him nowhere around my babies.
This is your husband.
It's over.
He violated your granddaughter.
It's over.
Your president from the Wilkos Show is about 15 to 20 years in prison. Thank you for being a participant in our show. Get the hell off my stage. You got to get justice for your daughter. I hope that you'll update us and let us know when he gets arrested, what happens to him in court, because we would definitely like to know that and let our viewers know what happened with the show. Lonnie says she was shocked when investigators told her that her children were being sexually abused by more than one of her exes. Lonnie's brother Earl and his wife Kristen believe that Lonnie must have known about the abuse all along and did nothing to stop it. And there's more. Kristen also says Lonnie planned to make her children take back their sexual abuse allegations so she could protect the alleged abuser. Take a look.
I called the show because my children were abused, and I had no idea at the time that they were sexually abused. I found out from the investigators that the abuse had been going on for years. And now my brother and his wife, Kristen, they're saying that I knew about the sexual abuse and I did nothing to stop it. And they're also saying that I coached them, my children, to take it all back. And I did not do that. I choose guys that are on drugs and may have a drinking problem, but never have I ever okayed for any of them to sexually abuse my kids and for me to know about it and not done something. I've had multiple phone calls against me with CPS. Honestly, I've lost count. A lot of them have turned out unfounded, which is great, but just as like being here, and I just got another one. It's just like all the time, it never stops. I know Kristen is the one that called CPS on me, and I don't know why she's making my life a living hell. Kristen is a cold-hearted bitch. She's okay with hurting me. She's okay with hurting my children. All of my children, for that matter. It doesn't matter to her. And Kristen and Earl have custody of one of my kids and brainwashing him to call her mom by saying, you have to call me mom because your mom lives far away. I want to prove today that I did not know that my kids were being sexually abused all along. I did not tell my kids to lie or to take back the sexual allegations that were made. When I pass this lie detector test, I want Kristen to leave me and my kids alone.
She's a complete liar. She's delusional. She doesn't even know what she's talking about. I love her kids, absolutely love her kids. I've taken her son in as my own. I love those kids. And I can't believe she's saying this stuff about me. She has never given me a thank you for taking these kids. And I don't understand why she has so much hate towards me.
She says 2 of her children were abused and she had no idea about it until years later. But you say she's lying about that.
I know she's lying about this because before the investigation in 2017, there was a few family members that had let her know that there was sexual behaviors coming from other children. They were acting out sexually, they were having nightmares, they were...
Her children.
Yeah, her children. There was children doing that, and if she didn't notice that, she's a horrible mother just for not noticing it.
Now, she says she'd never force her kids to retract their sexual abuse allegations.
Lies, all lies, because she was at my house and she told me she was gonna have the 2 boys go to the police and retract their allegations about sexual abuse and say it was emotional abuse.
All right, well, let's bring Lonnie out.
You lying bitch.
Really?
You are a liar.
Whoa.
You are a liar.
Whoa, ma'am.
Everything coming out of your mouth is a lie.
Really?
Yeah,
You didn't let your kids go in dog?
No.
It's in CPS reports,
No.
bitch.
No.
Oh, yeah?
No.
It's gonna come out.
You're right, it is. And that's why I'm here, to prove to you to shut your mouth, because you have no idea.
Let's meet your brother.
Puppet, yes. Are you kidding me?
The kids.
Are you
This
kidding
is
me?
about the kids.
You're right, it is
Yes,
about my
it
kids.
is about the
It
kids.
is about
And the
my
fact
kids.
is that
you
we brought
didn't even
them
want,
in.
you did
No,
not
don't
even
tell me
want
what I did or
before
did not want.
My mother
The fact
passed
is
away,
that
you
when
did not
she
even
came
want
in-
to do anything with them.
Oh, I didn't want to do
Without
anything with
Without
them?
money.
We're not getting
Without
paid
money.
anything. We're literally doing everything out of
Yeah,
pocket.
I'm sure.
We're not getting
Nobody
a
is here.
cent. You're
Yes, I
complaining
can.
that people don't have relationships with
Okay,
your kids,
Lonnie
but you're
came here and took a
actively
lie
saying-
detector test, and we asked her, before were you aware that your younger son was being sexually abused by your ex? She answered no. Before investigation, did your younger son tell you he was being sexually abused? You answered no. Did you tell your younger son to deny being sexually abused? You answered no. Results came back all the same, and they came back that you told the truth.
Oh, I'm sorry, what, Kristen? I'm sorry.
Congratulations, you literally managed to do the bare minimum.
Abuse your children. That's a serious accusation.
I don't care.
That's a serious. That is a serious
You allowed your
accusation.
kids to be
Serious.
abused.
I did not. It just said right there. It just said right there.
How does that
right
even
there.
happen?
It's right there. Shut up. Yeah, you never did. So you just got proven. You just got proven. That's not what I did. You weren't even there.
Hey.
You weren't even there.
I'll say this though, being unaware is not a good thing, right? Like,
Willfully
okay,
ignorant.
hold on. I was unaware my kids were this and that.
Because they didn't
well,
tell me anything,
If
but
you're
when
really
they did,
invested
I
in your
did
kids,
something about
maybe
it.
you would know, right? That's all I gotta say.
Exactly. If she was such a great mother, she would have noticed this behavior. But she's too worried about her boyfriend.
That behavior. You're
So then
lying about that.
we then went on
You're
to
lying.
give you a lie detector test about the other son, and you confessed that you saw your son under a blanket with her ex, was under the blanket with him. And apparently the ex had come home drunk and was sleeping on the couch. She saw the blanket moving up and down, and she called her son. Her son came out from underneath the blanket, but she states that he denied performing a sex act on her ex.
So let me get
And
this
hold
straight.
on, and I called. Shut your
So
mouth.
you knew! So
I didn't know.
When you saw the blanket going up and down, what the hell did you think was going on?
I thought that he was forcing him to perform oral sex on him. That is why I asked my son, but I didn't even go.
Well, did you call it right? Did you call the police when you saw that? Did you?
I didn't call the police.
No.
Okay, so you
There
did.
you go.
Let me
So you
finish.
saw something you suspected.
But I
You
called
didn't
the
do
wait,
anything.
Yes, I
and
did.
You didn't
You
call
won't
the
even let me tell
police.
you what I did. I called the person that was working with us, and I took them to McRyan. So actually, I did do something. You know the place you take them to when they meet with the kids, Steve?
So you
And they
basically
talk to
made a
them? I did
confession.
do
You
that.
knew that your son was being sexually assaulted.
No, I
Bye-bye,
didn't.
all
He
kids.
told me that.
Bye-bye. You're
No,
done.
not bye-bye, kids, bitch, because I've already told the truth about that.
I hope we
And
got a
I
big
said
enough house for all of
after
them.
that, and I said after that,
Before
Ryan.
Before were you aware
To have
that
them evaluated.
your older son was being sexually abused by your ex? And then Dan wrote, see confession above, she confessed that she knew.
He told me no. I still took him to McRyan to be a
Before
good parent. That is what you're supposed to do.
Before 2000.
You're supposed to call the police.
Okay.
Not if he tells you no. So I'm not supposed to believe my son. My son told me nothing, but I
If
took
you
him.
suspected there was something going on,
Who do you think?
called the
Okay,
police.
And
stop,
who do you
stop.
think was at
You
that?
saw with your own eyes what was going on.
No, I
You didn't need to
I
ask
told
your
you.
son. You saw it with your own eyes. Before were you aware that your older son was being sexually abused by another ex? You answered no, and the result for that question is you did not tell the truth.
What did I not tell the truth about? Excuse me?
Okay, I'll read it again.
Yeah, please read it again.
Before
Okay.
were you aware that your older son was being sexually abused by another ex? You stated no. The result is you did not tell the truth.
I did not know any of my kids were, except for that one. No, I did not.
So that's.
Did you ever tell your older son to deny being sexually abused?
No.
You answered no, and you told the truth. So there you go. You got a little good, you got a horrible bad.
No, because I never knew. That's a lie.
Did know.
No, I didn't.
You saw it with your own eyes.
Yes, I did. I never knew.
Thank you, wifey.
When you see your son under a sheet with a drunk and the sheet going up and down, what did you think was going on?
That's why I took him to McRyan.
But then you didn't do anything.
I did. I took him to McRyan where they interview kids and the
You
cops
didn't do
were there.
anything
Yes, I
right
did.
then and there.
Yes,
you
I
called
did.
them
I
over and
took
said, was
them
something
to
going on?
McRyan.
You didn't do anything.
Yes, I
And you know
did.
what? I feel bad for your kids
Yeah,
because
my
I
kids-
say this all the time. It's like kids are born in the world and they don't get to pick their parents. It's a roll of the dice in this cosmic universe who you get as a parent. I, on one hand, was very fortunate to have the greatest parents in the world. Your kids have the unfortunate situation of having you as a mother.
You say that, but that's not what my kids say. My kids don't say that because they know that I didn't know anything.
But the
and I
best
did
part
do
of my
something.
job is when I deal with just horrible human beings like you, I get to throw your ass off my stage and never see you again. Ray and his daughter Courtney have always had a rocky relationship. And while they were living together, Courtney says she noticed inappropriate behavior between Ray and her daughter. She immediately moved out and went to the authorities. Ray went to trial for sexual abuse of a minor in the 2nd and 3rd degree, as well as incest. Courtney and her daughter even testified at the trial, but the jury found Ray not guilty. Now Courtney still believes that something bad happened and wants justice for her daughter. But Ray says Courtney made the whole story up. Take a look.
My daughter Courtney is a piece of mom, never took care of the kids at all. I had to. I took care of my granddaughter, took her to school, took her to plays, and took her to the park. She always liked going with me and my dogs. Courtney was never there. She was never there. Courtney ruined my life. She accused me of sexually touching my granddaughter, and I had to go to court. I had to fight to get a lawyer. After 4 days of jury trial, I was found not guilty in 45 minutes. I love my granddaughter. I do. I miss her. I love her as a granddaughter. Nothing else, just a granddaughter. And she deserves a grandpa in her life because I'm the only one she's got.
I came home and my daughter was naked, and it was just him and her, and she was in my room with the door shut, and he was in the shower. And I pushed her back, and I was angry when I came home. I was more angry at myself and said to her, but I pushed her back, and I was like, what's going on? Let me look at your privates. Like, I just want to get all the paranoid thoughts out of my head, and I pushed her back, and it was like red, raw, irritated.
So you examined her?
I looked, yeah.
And you believe that you found evidence that
Yeah.
she was being sexually assaulted?
Yeah, definitely.
Did she ever convey to you that, Grandpa's doing something to me sexually?
Yeah, the day after the last day that I found her naked in the house, she said he did do
And this
it.
was 3 times?
Yeah, in a week.
In a week. So you left the house,
Yeah.
and then what happened?
My sister brought her into the room, and she started talking to her and asking her questions because I wasn't in the right state of mind. I didn't even want to know that I was getting high and my daughter was getting molested.
So you kind of like, were you like blaming yourself? Or?
Yeah, I still do to this day, and I will, but I'm doing everything I can now to make it better.
And how long have you been clean?
Since October 10th, 2018.
So when you take her to the hospital the next day, what did the doctors find?
Lesions and scarring and on her privates and
what did the doctors attribute this to?
sexual assault.
And then your kids were taken away, right?
Yes, after the police interviewed my daughter and then interviewed me, and then we met. The police escorted us around that whole day to all the places to get interviewed in the hospital, and they met me at the last place and they said, will you pee in this cup? Your dad's making all these accusations about you. And I said, I'm not peeing in a cup. I am high on meth and I need help, and just don't take my kids away. They didn't take them away at first because they were gonna have me go to a safe house. And then I didn't go to the safe house. I went to my sister's, and they met me at my sister's and they took my kids away, and I started a case plan. I did everything.
How long were your kids taken away for?
I didn't have physical or legal custody for 3 months, and I did all the classes, everything.
And then during this time, your father went to trial?
No, we went to trial after.
Okay, and tell me about the trial.
He paid for a $20,000 lawyer. They just made everything out about meth. It wasn't even about my daughter being sexually assaulted.
And he was found not guilty.
Yep.
And what I listened to in the tape, it sounded like the jury didn't deliberate
at all.
Like 45 minutes?
Yeah, it was.
I mean, that's shockingly fast.
I feel like using meth made them think that I'm just terrible. And
now, your father says you made this all up and that you coached your daughter. Did you?
No, no.
Because of all this comes out now, your father thinks that maybe you're not his daughter. And he wanted a DNA test done.
Yeah.
Is this the first time you've ever heard about this?
This is the first time he's actually like saying he wants a DNA test or anything.
All right, well, let's meet your father. Here's Ray.
You know you ruined my life. You know everything that I said was the truth. You made this up.
You are the most person in the world.
You know it. I hate you too.
You are the sickest person in the world. You are so sick and so phony, and I swear to God, when everything gets red, you're
gonna what?
Burn in hell, you sick.
Yeah. She admits that she's been an addict, addicted to meth. She blames a lot of this on herself because of her addiction. But she said since October of last year that she's been clean. And when she got here, we gave her a drug test to find out if that is indeed the case. Courtney was given a 16-panel drug screening and she tested negative for all categories. So she has no drugs. Did you sexually assault your granddaughter?
I never touched my granddaughter.
What was it like for you to be arrested? I mean, because
that's the worst day of my life, Steve.
now she says at the trial, you kind of made it out to be not about whether you did this to your granddaughter, but that she's an addict.
She been threatening me with this. Her mom threatened me with this.
With what?
When I left her mom, that I was touching my own kids. I had to go, when I lived in Minnesota with her mom,
My mom
I had
did?
to go through a counseling, and they always said that maybe mom said you molested us. You
My
know?
mom
If it was
accused
a
you?
joking manner.
Did my mom accuse you of it?
Yeah, I had to go to a social worker to get visitation to see you, and then,
Is this the first time you're hearing of
Yeah.
this? Did you ever think your father molested you?
Yeah, but I
Lie
mean,
some
I didn't
more.
know.
So they offer you 3 to
predator.
5 years in jail.
Right.
And you said what?
I said I didn't touch her. I'm not doing it. I paid my lawyer, and I told him they offered me 2 times. That time and one more time, they a lesser charge where I wouldn't have did no prison time. I'd have been on supervised probation, and
And you
know,
still said no to
I
that?
still said no. My lawyer.
Well, Ray, you have questions about whether you're Courtney's dad.
Her mom always said it. She came
always
back
said
after.
it, but you're here, you took a DNA test, Ray, and you are Courtney's father. Courtney, you came here and took a lie detector test because your father says, you're making this up, you're an addict, and you coach your daughter to say this.
Yes.
So we asked you, did you coach your daughter to say that Ray molested her? You answered no. Are you making up the story that Ray molested your daughter? You answered no. Results came back the same to each question, and it came back that Courtney told the truth.
Where's my results?
They're coming. Ray, you came here and took a lie detector test, and we asked you, did you ever touch Courtney's daughter's private area? You answered no, and the results for your lie detector test is that you did not tell the truth.
Yeah, what? What?
I didn't touch her.
You're one of the lucky people on this show because I don't think you can be retried for this because...
Not for the same charges,
Right.
but the ones they dropped.
Right. So
What
that's
else?
interesting. So that's interesting.
You think I'm
Do
a
I
liar?
do I
Yeah.
think you're a liar?
Yeah.
Yes,
Do you?
I think you're a liar.
You think you really
Yeah.
think that?
Yes.
You're wrong.
know
Mr.
it.
You're the guy that failed.
Okay. You know
Read
what?
it,
I've
Pat.
always heard people say, people can beat it or whatever. I came here and took it.
And you failed it.
I failed it. I didn't do this, Steve.
Okay.
I guarantee you. I'll take that to my grave or
Yeah,
you know,
take it to
just
your
like I
grave.
told them.
Well, if they reopen this case, hopefully you don't take it to your grave. Hopefully you take it back to trial. You get convicted and you take it to jail. Get the hell off my stage.
On September 28th of last year, my girlfriend's kid came home from school and told her the teacher got mad and drug him across the carpet on the floor.
She looked up her shirt and seen the marks. The marks looked like drug burns. The doctors came out and said it looked like cigarette burns.
About 2 hours later, one of her family members came and told me that Mary and her father were being arrested for child abuse. 2 police officers showed up and arrested me for child abuse. They said that she held her son down while I burned him with cigarettes. All 3 of my girlfriend's kids were taken away from us after we were arrested. They've been in foster care for a year now.
So these, to me, do look like cigarette burn, right? Looks like somebody took a and then... And you know what's crazy about this? It's a perfect circle. Really, I mean, you looked at those burn marks and you thought those were carpet burns.
Yes.
The child told us that mom's boyfriend, now this is your son telling the doctors, burnt his back and told him not to tell. He said he was lying in bed and Nathaniel was annoyed with his behavior and told him to sit up. When he didn't get up right away, Nathaniel picked him up and then complained that he hurt his back by lifting him. He then stated that Nathaniel started burning his back with a cigarette and said, It must have been a lot of cigarettes. Nathaniel told him not to tell anyone. He said that his mom, his grandpa, and his mother Mary were all home at the time. He stated his mother held him down while Nathaniel burned him. Maybe your son's different, but I know my son could not tell a specific story like that unless it actually happened. Do you know that when we lock guys up, the guilty guys, you know what they do? You know what they won't do? They won't answer the question. They'll tell you everything else. I'll say, hey, did you rob that guy? Yeah, my aunt lives right over there. Ask you, did you know they were burns before today? This, and they look like bug bites, and I don't know, and then finally,
Like you said, I'm not a doctor.
I knew
I
that
can't
they
tell
were
what they
burns.
are.
In September 2011, did you hold your son down while he was being burned? And you did not tell the truth. It's one of the few moments in 6 years I've done the show where I almost feel like I'm nauseous beyond belief right now. Did your girlfriend hold her son down while you burned his back? And you said no. And you did not tell the truth. You! A little boy's being held down, and you're burning his back with the cigarettes.
I did not touch him. I have never
I
hurt
can
that
only
little boy.
hope that the police reopen this investigation. Here is your going away prize for being on my show. And I hope you get everything that you deserve, and I hope you rot in hell. Get the hell out of here! You stay here. No, you run!
Hey, stay away from her.
You don't get out of my way!
Did you touch him?
I didn't touch
From him.
You want to run? You failed for holding your damn son down!
I didn't do that.
And
No,
you
I have
want to
proof.
run?
I have proof that
You
he has
couldn't
no-
tell the truth on my
He
stage.
has no
if
marks
it
on his
came
back.
up and slapped you in the face.
He has no marks on his back, so.
The best thing that you did was stay with this guy so your kids aren't with you. Safest they could be is away from you. And you know what? That over there wants a piece of me. Let him go.
2020, my daughter told me that she was being molested. She told me, Daddy, I gotta tell you something, but I don't want to be in trouble. And I said, well, you're not gonna be in trouble. I'm your dad. You're supposed to come to me and I'm supposed to help you out. So then she told me that her brother Aiden had touched her in her underpants.
Like one day I was at work, I get a phone call from my mom that she got information that I was accused of touching my little sister. I was just in shock. I was really disgusted about all the things that was being said. Couldn't fathom what could be going on over at Steve's house.
So I contacted the Bayonne Police Department and they put me in touch with DCP and P. They contacted me back the next day. And I told them what was going on, and then of course, the investigation started.
There was an allegation against me that I touched my little sister. They were saying that I was playing. I was like, no. The amount of detail that they were saying, as soon as I heard that, I gagged.
Probably about a year later, they closed the case because my daughter retracted her statement. Okay? But yet she still talks about this till today, saying nobody believes her what happened with her brother Aiden.
I was interrogated by the police that was like near my house, and I was interrogated for hours on end. And ultimately at the end, I was able to go home. They let me go. They do believe my sister was touched, but they can't pin it on who. And it wasn't me, so clearly I'm thinking it's Steve.
Well, Aiden did get in trouble in high school for sending pictures of his penis to some girl in high school. I don't know whatever the outcome was with that, but I know the police were involved. So to me, I see that, yeah, he possibly definitely could have done this.
If my little sister was molested, I strongly believe that it was Steve. That it was her father that touched her. Because every time they would come over to his house, they would always come back like distant. Their behavior was different. Everything was different.
And after all of this, I get this letter in the mail stating that me and Becky are molesting my daughter. That would never happen. Okay, I'm here trying to protect my daughter.
If Steve didn't molest my sister,
I'm pretty sure that he actually coached them to say something.
Who do you believe?
I believe my son, Steve.
Yeah.
I've raised all of my children. I honestly don't believe that he's capable of doing anything like that to hurt a sibling of his. My children are caring, all of them. Steve, their father, had always asked, for them to have extra time with them. He wasn't working at the time, and we own a family convenience store, so I figured it was safer for them out in the country in Pennsylvania than it was to be in a crowded city where we live, as far as COVID goes. So I let them go. Halfway through their trip, I received a phone call that CPS was at my door, that they needed to investigate where the children dwell, was their food, that there was an accusation of neglect.
On your part?
On my part. So they came in, they checked the situations, everything was fine. And then it wasn't until I went to pick my children up from their fathers for that visit that it was stated to me that someone in my household was accused of touching my daughter.
Who was telling you this?
My DCP worker.
Okay. And did you ever say to your daughter, hey, because Steve's her dad, right? Mm-hmm. Did you ever say, did Daddy ever do this to you?
We did have a discussion recently after new things were brought to light.
Right.
And she told me, yes, he did.
Oh, she did say
She
this.
told me he did.
You're
kidding me, right? You're kidding me. It's from
Instead
the
of an
first day.
adolescent child?
From the first day.
You should be protecting
It
your
happened to you,
adolescent
and now it's
child.
happening again,
They're
right?
defenseless,
Right?
these children.
Stop spitting at me.
Defenseless, these
Stop
children are.
spitting at
And you
me.
want to stick
I
up
don't
for
have
an
to take your
adult.
crap anymore.
Get the hell out of
Yeah,
here.
please.
So at one point, the two of you were very much in love?
Very much.
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah. Man, what happened?
Yeah.
I saw the
Probably
light.
for a year.
Okay. You are accused of sexually touching your daughter.
Never.
What I'm asking
That would
you.
never ever happen.
You're accused of it.
Oh, I don't know I'm accused of it,
Yeah.
but why would I want to come on this show? I'm the one who put
Well,
forth the
I'll
opinion.
answer you. We've had 1,000 people that have done that. Said,
Why would I go to the
do that?
authorities?
Guess what? They fail.
I went right to the authorities when I got these allegations. I also went to my job, which I'm suspended from.
How did you, first of all, how did you become aware that Aiden, her son, a son from a previous relationship, how did you come about that he had touched your daughter?
Right from the little girl's mouth.
What did she say to you?
She told me, Daddy, I have to tell you something. I don't want to get in trouble. And I said, I'm not here for you to be in trouble. I'm here to help you. I'm your father. You tell me something, we're going to figure this out and get you the help you need. And she said, Aiden put his hand down in my pants and touched my private and tried to put his hot dog, was her words.
Okay. And you then did what? You went to the police?
I called the state police, and they told me to contact the county that it happened in. So I called the Bayonne Police Department, who got me in touch with DCP.
And they interviewed Aiden.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened. They really gave me
you didn't follow up on it?
Oh yeah, they won't give me any information. They're very vague with.
Come on.
No,
You are the representation, the guardian of the child.
The thing that I
the
heard.
police aren't just going to say, well, we can't tell you
know what I heard
anything.
from them, DCP?
Yeah, I
They
do.
told
That's
me-
what I'm asking.
Okay, they went to an Audrey Hepburn house, which is a therapy for this kind of thing. They said, well, what I got was they clinically support the allegations of molestation. So in layman's terms, that means he did it.
Why isn't he arrested?
I don't know, because they supposedly said she retracted the information when she was with the
Well,
mother.
but this was 2 years ago.
There was allegations of molestation.
Okay, so 2-3 years ago, if he did it, the police are aware, they haven't locked him up. Wouldn't that go to show that there's not enough evidence to lock him up?
I think it's all being manipulated.
Your daughter, twins, daughter and son, were in therapy, and the son says, hey, it wasn't our older brother Aiden that is touching her. It's my dad, Steve, that's doing it.
Yeah, I believe it's all being manipulated.
You believe she's coaching
Yes,
the
exactly.
kids to say that.
I strongly believe
why,
that.
And why is she doing that?
Because just like this whole bunny thing with the phone, the kids are telling me, oh, Mommy wants you in jail when they came up with that
Why
money.
would she want you in jail?
I don't know.
How dare you? I did not.
How dare I what?
I did not touch her.
How dare I what?
did not touch her.
You're full of
Oh, I'm full.
Yeah.
No
I'm
more
full of
full than you.
Okay.
How dare you?
Sorry.
Clean it up.
To be honest, I think you touched her.
You think I did it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That's why she's still talking about today, saying that nobody believes what happened.
Really?
to
When did you talk to her? When did you talk to her?
I talked to
When
her.
did you call and talk to her? Because barely whenever I
You
hear
never
when she
call and
calls.
talk to any of them.
Yeah, when I
You're
call
so
and talk,
concerned.
they
Oh, you're
don't
just
so
answer.
concerned.
You,
How
somebody in the
dare
background
you?
You're
is
so
talking.
concerned.
Yeah, I'm so concerned.
Did you sexually molest your sister?
No.
No. Why do you think that you were accused of this?
Steve will try anything and everything to get out of paying child support
Yeah.
from my mother.
You know, I don't want to get too much into it, but you sent to somebody and you got in trouble?
See, I was blackmailed. That was when I was only 14 years old. Are you kidding me?
It was sent to another 14-year-old.
Yeah.
It was sent to
Are you
somebody.
kidding
So,
me?
so one of these deals where they asked you to send a pic and you did?
This was like 8
And it went
years
around
ago.
to school, you know,
Okay,
one
yeah.
of those
Yeah.
embarrassing.
All right, yeah. I mean, that's
You
right.
live, you learn. You know.
Listen, that is like, what kids go through today is a minefield.
Yes.
That we, at least my
really
age,
messed up.
we didn't
Yeah.
have to deal with that. Thank God. Do you think that he would lock your little brother up in a dog crate and then molest the your little sister?
To be honest, at this moment, I don't even know what he's capable of.
So you never heard the little girl
Not an adult.
directly?
After he told me what happened, we talked about it, and yes, I did hear it from her, not the first time I
Really?
heard from him.
Seems like he just coached you right live on
No
stage
way.
here.
There's a lot more
do
details
I look
in
like a
this-
sick
this
person?
one incident.
They don't even want to go to your house
you know.
anymore. Like, it's just,
Okay.
That's not true either.
Okay.
yes, it is.
You ever see the little boy in a crate?
He's played in the crate before, yes.
So he has been in the crate?
He has played in
I've
the
never
crate,
seen
yes.
him play in
The
the
crate is in our bedroom, yes.
Oh, what crate? What
When
crate,
he
though?
climbed
I
in
didn't
there.
say what
Okay.
crate.
Please.
When he climbed in the crate, did you ever shut it?
No,
Did you ever lock it?
no.
No. All right, Maria, you're first up. We gave you a lie detector test concerning coaching and fabrication. And we asked you, did you coach any of your children to say, Steve sexually molested your twin daughter? You answered no. Did you fabricate the story that Steve and Becky put your son in a dog crate? You answered no. Are you covering for your son, Aiden, regarding the sexual abuse allegations against him? You answered no. The results of your lie detector test is inconclusive due to, hold on. Let me finish here. Inconclusive due to distortion in psychological tracings. How do you say it again?
Physiology.
The charts were distorted, not because of drug use. No. Okay, so. Yeah, some people aren't testable. You might be one of those people. Doesn't make you guilty. I got to say that because sometimes people hear inconclusive. Now, usually when inconclusive and there's drug use, then I say, hey, you trying to, get out of taking the test. That's not the case here. We just cannot get a conclusive result because of many different reasons there could be, but drug use not being one of them. And we gave you a drug test and you passed it, by the way. And we asked you about abuse and fabrication. First, about the fabrication. Did you help contrive a story that Aiden sexually molested his sister? You answered no. Did you coach the twin girl to accuse her brother Aiden of sexually molesting her? You answered no. The result of those two questions came back the same, and it came back that Becky told the truth. We asked you about locking the child in a dog cage. Have you ever locked Steve's twin son in a dog crate to help him sexually abuse his daughter? You answered no. The result of that question is that you told the truth. Have you ever witnessed Steve sexually molest his twin daughter? You answered no. The result is you told the truth. Did you ever coach your twin daughter to say her brother Aiden sexually touched her? You answered no. Did you fabricate the story that Aiden sexually molested his sister? You answered no. The results to those two questions came back the same, and it came back that Steve told the truth.
Exactly.
Have you ever locked your twin son in a dog crate for the purpose of sexually abusing your twin daughter? You answered no. You told the truth. Have you ever sexually molested your twin daughter for your own sexual gratification? He answered no. Have you ever attempted to sodomize your daughter? He answered no. The The results to those 2 questions came back the same, and it came back that Steve told the truth. Well, Aiden, you came here and you took a lie detector test, and we asked you, have you ever sexually molested your little sister for your own sexual gratification? He answered no. Have you ever attempted to sodomize your sister? You answered no. The results came back the same to those 2 questions, and it came back that Aiden did not tell the truth.
No, I did not do it.
Really?
I'm telling you the truth.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
I mean, you don't have to be a psychology major to notice that this guy has all the, the bearings of a guilty person. What do you do?
I work at my local high school.
You work at your
Oh.
Your mother gets called in here. She's being accused of being a liar and trying to destroy lives. A man that she had 2 kids with could possibly have gone to jail, spent time for a crime he didn't commit in prison. Can you imagine that? Going to prison for a crime you didn't commit? She gets dragged in, whether she's locking the little guy up in a dog kennel, all because of what you did.
I did not do it, Steve.
You did it.
I did not
Listen,
do it, Steve.
you got some problem going on here, and I think you're attracted to children.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I think you are. And before you just, and think about all the damage you did to the little girl now, right? You better find in your heart so you don't destroy a bunch of lives to say, I did it, I'm sorry, I just want to move forward. Are you willing to say that? You did it, right? I'll tell you, you're going to feel like 1,000 pounds got lifted off your chest. Did you do it?
I did not do it. I didn't. I am so sorry that you guys lost your jobs. But I'm telling you right now, I did not do it.
And with that, you can get the hell off my stage. What terrifies me, he works at a school. Okay? That freaks me out. But I wish you all the best, and I hope you get to the bottom of it.
Thank you very much.
Tesla says she left her ex, Josh, after she walked in on him furiously shaking their young daughter. He was investigated and cleared of any wrongdoing, but a few months later, Tesla claims their daughter accused Josh of sexually touching her. Josh denies ever abusing his daughter and says Tesla made this entire story up to keep him away from their child.
I just want to find out what happened to my daughter. Christmas 2015, my daughter was throwing a fit, and her dad tried to take control and tame the situation, but she didn't want him at all. And he took her anyways to the garage, and she started screaming. And I went in there, and his back was facing me, and he was shaking her. I didn't call the cops, so I just stayed till 2 days till he went back to work, and I took our stuff and I left. After we went to court and I got custody, he was awarded his first weekend visit. When she came back at 5 o'clock, she took her clothes off and she said, "Mommy, hurt, hurt." When she said, "Mommy, hurt, hurt," she pointed into her privates and opened her legs. So then I saw it and it was all swollen and red. And I said, "Who did that?" And she said, "Daddy, Papa." I found out that my daughter had a small abrasion inside her private part. I think Josh is capable of doing this to our daughter because he went to trial for similar allegations almost 10 years ago. Josh's dad, Sherman, was there that weekend that our daughter got hurt. So I don't know what happened, but either him or someone did it. Now, Josh and his whole family are trying to accuse me on making this whole thing up, but I'm not, because I'm just trying to protect my daughter and be there, and if something happens, I want to be able to protect her, make sure she'll be okay for the rest of her life.
Steve, she's bringing up false allegations toward me that I haven't done. I've proven it to her multiple times, and I have a past, yes. I've told her about my past and gave it to her right up front because I didn't want to lie to her. I didn't want to have anything come up.
And what was your past?
My past was false allegations toward rape, sodomy of another minor child.
How did you find out you were being accused of this?
Officers showed up at my house. They swabbed me and my whole family. They went and took belongings of my daughter. They took belongings of mine for evidence and took it to evidence. No
So this
results.
is an open investigation.
It's still an
as of-
open investigation at this time.
Now, these are serious allegations.
Yes, sir.
Why would she be saying this? I mean, did you ever
Bring up my
Did you
old-
ever cheat on her?
No, sir.
You ever abuse her?
No, sir.
So she just making this all up against you.
Yes, sir.
Your father also took a DNA sample and a lie detector test. Why is that?
They wanted to investigate him because in the doctor's report it stated me and my father.
That you both were abusing her?
Yeah.
Could your father have molested your daughter? No way.
No way.
Let's meet Tesla.
You said you hurt her. She
No, I
said,
didn't.
Mama hurt her.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did.
never said that.
Yes, she
never
you're
said.
saying
No.
that she's lying.
She's not telling the truth.
You can't even
I'll
understand
swear.
what she says.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
I understand exactly what she
Yeah,
says.
you understand a 2-year-old that can't even speak very well.
Why did you leave him?
Because he shook her, and I was scared to call the
When
cops.
you say he shook her, can you show me?
He grabbed her underneath the armpits, and he did it 3 times, and she was screaming.
And how old was she at the time?
She was about a year.
About a year. So after he shook her, did you take her to the hospital?
I waited until he went to work, and I
You
left.
waited till he went to work,
Because
and
I didn't
then
want him to hurt her worse or something worse to happen.
how did it come upon where you thought that your daughter was molested by him?
We were going to bed, and she took off her clothes, and she showed me, and she said, Mama hurt, Daddy hurt. I instantly took her to the hospital.
And you took her to the hospital, and then what happened?
Then she got investigated and swabbed and talked to the cops and contacted DHS.
And how verbal is she?
She could talk and say some things.
You told my producers that you believe if Josh didn't do it, then his father, Sherman, did it.
He was the one that picked her up on that visit.
Okay.
And he got mad saying I should have came to them and said something before I went to the hospital.
All right, well, let's meet your dad, Sherman.
I can't believe that. You're tearing me up. He's proved himself innocent.
How?
You've seen it.
The DNA hasn't
What did
even
they
came
just-
back yet.
I'd kick his ass myself if I thought he did that.
Okay.
Listen, her story doesn't make a lot of sense.
Never
I
has.
could say that. But what concerns me about your son is, you know, here you're accused of raping 2 little girls about 10 years ago, and I was accused of molesting. I mean, does that bother that your son keeps getting accused of molesting little children?
No, because I was there when it happened. It started the same way this one started.
All right, Sherman, you came here and you took a lie detector test.
Yes.
And we asked you, have you ever had physical contact with your granddaughter for your own sexual gratification?
No.
Sherman answered no. And the results for his lie detector test is that Sherman told the truth. Tesla came on, and she took a lie detector test. And we asked her, did your daughter tell you, Daddy hurt while pointing to her private area? She said yes. Did you coach your daughter to indicate that her father hurt her in her private area? You answered no. The results of both questions came back the same, and it came back that you, Tesla, did not tell the truth. Your story makes no sense with you telling it, okay? And you know when stories don't make sense, they're usually not true. Josh came here and he took a lie detector test. And we asked him, on that day in December of 2015, did you shake your youngest daughter? He answered no. He told the truth. We asked Josh, have you ever had physical contact with your youngest daughter for your own sexual gratification? He answered no. And the result for that question is extreme deception indicated.
You did it?
No,
What does that mean?
I did not do it.
What does that mean?
Means he lied.
You did it?
No, I did not touch my daughter.
We gave your son,
I did
Sherman,
not touch her.
3 polygraph tests.
I didn't touch her, and I know for a fact I
Extreme
didn't.
deception was indicated 3 times.
What's the next?
That's it.
That's it?
That's the 2 questions.
I was asked
Shaking
5
and
questions.
sexual contact.
5
Obviously, we ask you
And I told
more questions, but we
have
only
nothing to
read
say.
the
Watch
ones pertaining to the story. This is a system. You have to either pass a test, the question, with a +4, meaning you pass, or a -4.
Was that the FBI test, the one? That one? Is that what? Because he explained.
Are you a lawyer?
I asked you a question. Is that the lie detector test? It's the FBI one. Period. He told me this several times.
I'll bring Dan out in a second.
That's fine.
And then you can ask Dan whatever you want.
He told me this. I was just asking you if that's the one you're in.
And I'm going to give you all the answers that you want, sir. But the one thing that you need to start doing is looking at that little and failing for molesting little kids.
I'm telling you. He hasn't got one.
You failed this one.
Let's see it.
Now, a cut score, and I'm going to explain this to you. To pass any question or fail any question, you have to have a +4 or -4. For molesting or having physical contact for his own sexual gratification with your granddaughter, he had a -13. Let's bring Dan out.
I had to ask you those same questions.
Sure, go ahead.
In there, you said this is an FBI.
Same test that the FBI
So if you
administers.
flunk one question out of the 5 questions you asked, you fail the whole test. Is that test?
Yes.
So how?
Sir, we were running away.
I'm going
That's
home,
his
dude.
son. That's dude. That's his backbone there, running away.
Steve, polygraphs don't test questions. Polygraphs test an issue. The questions test that issue. He fails the issue with a -13.
Okay.
He molested that child. Period.
I think you better start looking closely at your son and what he's doing around little kids.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do nothing and you just want to say, oh, the Steve Wilkos show is wrong, I have a feeling in the future there might be some other small child out there that will suffer at your son's hands. The lowest thing that you can do is abuse a child.
Wouldn't
the
even
lowest
do that,
thing.
dude.
Excuse me?
I wouldn't do that.
You did do it.
I didn't do it.
And you did it to your...
No, I didn't.
Well, what
I was
it?
proven already
Hey,
once.
Mike, what is he going to do to me? You're gonna
Absolutely not. I'm not going to touch you, dude. I wouldn't physically harm you, dude.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
No.
Trying to get him to instigate him to.
Hey, you know what? I'm done with your...
Get the hell out of here.
You know why I'm not fearful of you? It's because I'm not a child. And now, this show is over. You have shown yourself to violate sexually
Well, that's why I
and
come
your
back
own
out.
daughter. And with that, now, Mike, you can do your job and get rid of this. Rochelle hasn't seen her children in a week, and she doesn't know when she'll see them again. You see, just last week, her 4-year-old and her 6-month-old daughters tested positive for extremely high levels of cocaine. Rochelle also tested positive for cocaine and methamphetamines, but swears she's been clean and would never allow her children to be exposed to drugs. Rochelle's aunt Arsini was there the day that CPS took the children, but she believes her niece is completely innocent. Take a look.
Rochelle is my niece, and we hang out a lot ever since she was a baby. I was babysitting the kids. There was a knock on the door. The police came and he asked, could he talk to me for a while? And I said, yes. And then while he was talking to me, he said, we have to take the kids. And I say, why? And he said, I cannot discuss that. The reason that the kids was taken is because they had found drugs in the baby and the 4-year-old. They was testing a high level of cocaine. On top of that, Rochelle tested positive for cocaine and meth. Since this happened, Rochelle has never had any contact with the kids or me. We don't know what's going on, and I think that there's a chance that she's gonna pass. I don't believe that she would put her kids in the harm way.
Rochelle, that's your aunt on the tape. How do you feel about what she had to say?
It's hard. I don't know what my kids are doing. I don't know how they're sleeping.
And how long you been away from them for now?
Like a week now.
A week. There was a video that was posted last month, right?
Yes.
What was that about?
It was a video with a teenage girl smoking marijuana. And it was a little girl in the background. And they came to my house and said that there was allegations that that was my 4-year-old.
Was it?
So when they showed me the video, you can't really see the little girl's face. It's all blurry.
But was it your 4-month?
Not that I know, no.
4-year-old? No.
I don't believe so.
How would you not know? Where were you when this video was being shot?
I wasn't around.
Right.
I was.
But wouldn't you say, well, there's no way that's because she wasn't there?
I told them that.
Yeah. So you don't think that your daughter was even in this video?
No.
And then they gave you a drug test, or?
They gave my 4-year-old a drug test first. And 3 weeks later, they come and say that me, my mom, and my 6-month-old have to go test. And then we go test. 4 days later, they say that I have cocaine and meth in my system. So I don't know the levels or anything.
That you had cocaine and meth?
Yes, they say nothing about the baby.
And how would you explain cocaine or meth in your system?
That's what I'm here for. I don't know.
You have no idea how
I have
cocaine
no
and meth got in
idea.
your system?
No, sir.
Have you ever done coke and meth?
10 years ago, I did coke. Never did meth.
Never did meth in your
Never.
life. So after the test came back positive, what happened?
He says we have to go to the CPS office to sign some paperwork. We get up there, and he's asking, where are the kids, where are the kids? And I'm all like, why do you need the kids if we're here to sign paperwork? And he says, well, the baby has cocaine in her system. And I'm
How
like,
old's your baby?
She's 6 months. I'm like, there's no possible way she has cocaine in her system. We don't even be around. I get real furious. I leave the office.
You ever done drugs in front of your kids?
No, sir.
You ever allow your children to use illegal drugs?
No, sir.
Did you breastfeed the baby?
No, sir.
And how long have your kids been gone?
A week now.
A week. Both your kids had drugs in your system. You had drugs in your system, but nobody has a clue how these drugs got in everybody's system.
Yes, sir.
Could somebody be coming in your house in the middle of the night and pouring it down your throat, or?
No. No, sir.
How do you have any explanation why you think how these drugs got in your system?
I was thinking maybe we got it from touching the money, but then I looked at the levels, and they were too high.
To test positive for amphetamines, you have to have a level of 300 to test positive, 300 or higher, and cocaine, 300 or higher.
Yes, sir.
You had methamphetamine of 804 and cocaine of 5,702. So it's not from touching money. Your 4-year-old had a cocaine level of 535, and the 6-month-old baby had a cocaine level of 3,012. Come on. I'm trying to be sensitive to a mother that has 2 small kids taken away. And, you know, you stand up here and say you have no idea.
I don't.
Okay. What'd be a better idea would be, hey, Steve, I got a drug problem.
No,
I need help.
I don't have a drug problem. I don't have a drug problem.
What's that?
I don't have a drug problem, and I don't let my kids around drugs.
Well, that drugs ain't magically appearing in their system.
Well, I don't have a drug problem.
Let me ask you this. Has anybody ever come over to your house and cut some lines on your table?
No.
I mean, I would think, I'm not being a wise ass here. I'm like, you ain't getting that level of cocaine.
They don't even
from
be
touching
around
money.
it.
You want your kids back, right?
Yes.
You can't say, I don't know how the drugs got in my system.
I don't
or
know
the
how
kids."
they got in this. I don't use drugs.
And that's your plan to get your kids back? I don't use drugs?
I don't.
Okay. So I'm being told to have those levels of drugs in your system, you have to ingest them.
Yes,
you can't
sir.
like get them through contact or anything. It has to be ingested into your system. And a baby, like, you know, a 4-year-old might pick something up, you know, a drink, you know, food. 6-month-old is being fed.
Yes.
You know, 6-month-old ain't doing anything on its own. You took a lie detector test, and you think you're going to pass?
Yes.
I think I'd probably fall back, crack my head open, if you do pass.
I'm telling
I
you
can't
the
help a
truth.
liar.
I'm telling you the truth, Steve.
Tell me how your kids got the drugs.
I'm telling you, I don't know.
Did you drink last night?
No.
Oh, your mom lives in the house with you, right?
Yes.
She's the only one who tested clean.
Yes.
She had no drugs in her system.
No.
How is it your mom has
haven't-
no drugs, Like if this house has got cocaine walls in the ceiling, I would say, well, maybe it's possible because she has drugs in her system too, right? Like, you know, you're walking around, turning a light on. All right, we gave you a drug test. And, well, I just asked you if you went out drinking last night. You got alcohol in your system.
I didn't drink last night.
When did you drink?
Before I came down here.
Which is what? How, you know,
It
yesterday?
Yeah, day before yesterday.
Day before yesterday. How long does alcohol stay in your system?
It was like 1:30 when I drunk.
What's that?
It was 1:30 at night when I drunk.
Okay, but even so, last night, 1:30?
No, the night
Well, alcohol
before.
doesn't stay in your system unless you got completely, maybe chugged a gallon of tequila. Maybe you'd have some traces left.
No, I had like 3 or 4 shots.
You didn't have any drinks last night?
No, sir. I didn't leave the room last night.
And you had marijuana in your system too, which, you know, I'm not shocked. But if you, here's my point. I don't believe that you didn't have drinks last night. If your kids are taken away, wouldn't you be like, I'm not doing anything until I get my kids back? All right, Rochelle, we asked you, since 2013, have you used any form of cocaine? You answered no. Have you ever used any form of cocaine with your children present? You answered no. Have you ever given any type of illegal drugs to any of your children? You answered no. The results came back all the same, and it came back that you did not tell the truth.
I did not give my kids drugs. I did not give my kids drugs.
So if you want to stick to a lie, and if that's the price that you got to pay, that you never get to raise your kids, is it worth it to stick with the lie that hard, that long? Again, we're here to help. We're not here to destroy you. So your last chance, you gonna tell me the truth or not?
I'm telling you the truth.
Okay. I hope you'll get to see your kids again someday. That's if you can stay off the drugs, if you can stop
I'm not
giving them
on
drugs. But it doesn't sound like that's gonna happen, so good luck to you.